Today we have this Mercedes Sprinter van, and it is literally a van for just about anything or anyone. There's a reason that so many construction companies and contractors use vans like this to haul people and materials around because they're so massive and so practical, and they've got good payload and towing capabilities. I used to work for a contractor and we took vans everywhere. That was our go-to. We could shove so much stuff in there, but these are also much more than construction vehicles. They can be great family vehicles with passenger versions, or you can convert it and actually live in this thing because it is just huge. But in this video, we're going to take a quick look at everything, and I'm going to show you everything you get with this Sprinter van. Now, just a quick note before we jump in is that you can outfit this van so many different ways. The one shown is a 2500 cargo van with the 170-inch wheelbase, but not extended version. You can get a shorter wheelbase that's 233.5 inches, or the one shown 274 inches, or the extended version that's 290 inches long. You can also get a standard or a tall roof height, which is what we have shown right here. The cargo area is where you're gonna get a lot of your value out of here. First of all, this right or passenger side door can open, and then you can open this one, and there's a really cool optional feature we have right here. You know, a lot of times doors might open like this, or maybe just a little bit wider, but check this out. This one can actually open up 270 degrees. That's insane. Easy to get around, easy loading, doesn't stick out too much. It's really nice. Now, if you don't want this cargo van, you can also get a 5-passenger crew van or the passenger vans with 12 or 15 passengers available. Now, overall space in here is just massive. And keep in mind, this is the cargo van with the longer wheelbase, but you can get an even more extended version, but you still have good width in here. These panels in here are actually optional, and so is the floor. There's even several different D-rings and tie-downs in here. Another bonus is that over these wheel wells with the single wheels like this, you can get these boxes that are like storage bins, and it just makes it more practical so you don't have these wheel wells getting in the way. The max interior height is going to be 79 inches. The max width will be almost 74 inches, and the max length of the floor could be almost 190 inches. So overall, that has a whopping amount of cargo space of over 530 cubic feet. So if you wanted to live in here, if you want to haul an entire business around in here or make it a passenger van, you've got a ton of different options for this van. You also have the option of this sliding door, which can open up pretty far and it can stay right there. This can be about 71 inches tall and about 51 inches wide. So this could be excellent for loading. There's even a grab handle right here, loading, unloading, whatever you need to do. And there's a pretty good step right here as well. So it's nice to have that option of a sliding door. Now, under the hood, there's a few different options depending on what you need. There's a 4-cylinder gas engine, which is a 2-liter. There's a 4-cylinder diesel option, or the one we have right here, which is a 3-liter V6 turbocharged diesel. This 3-liter diesel gives you 188 horsepower, but a good amount of torque at 325 pound-feet of torque. It's going to come in rear-wheel drive, or you can option up and get this as a 4-wheel drive as well. Depending on your engine, you'll get a 9 or a 7-speed transmission, 7-speed right here. One big benefit if you're actually using this for work, so you put a lot of miles on it, you're busy, it's constantly in use, this diesel engine actually gives you a 20,000 mile service interval. So you hopefully can get 20,000 miles between service. That really cuts down your time. The towing and payload really depend on your configuration, and I'll put a link to a brochure in the description that highlights all the different details for each configuration in the description below. So be sure to check that out. All right, let's move in and take a quick look at these front seats. First of all, over on the door, got a good sized grab handle up here, a little padded armrest, and this kind of sloping window leaves a little bit of glass that comes up right here, but it's still comfortable to rest your arm out there. Good size space right here, enough room for some tools or gloves or... Real quick, I want to say hello, but I also want to apologize. Coming up in this interior section, you're going to hear some static coming from the left side. So if you are listening on headphones, take out your left headphone. And I apologize, there's some static. As an apology, I want to take out any ads that play in the middle of the video. I've told YouTube to take them out, but I'm sorry about that. It's just for a small section. Hope you enjoy. Huge mug, bottles, and more storage down here to separate some of your items. Not too bad, because you got a step that's not at a too terrible height right there. Surprisingly, there's not a grab handle right there, but you could grab the steering wheel, hop into these seats, and these are the optional leatherette seats. These headrests can even move forward and backwards, but these actually have some pretty good bolstering on them. This is a comfortable seat as well. This thigh extension piece, or this piece, can extend for your thighs. You even have 4-way lumbar support on here. That's really nice. And your seat controls are on here. First of all, you've got heated seats, you've got memory settings, and then your actual regular adjustments. Keep in mind, these cabs are going to change a lot depending on a cargo van, a crew van, or a passenger van where you're actually using it to haul family around. Steering wheel right here is the polyurethane plastic, but it can tilt and it can telescope. I don't know if all of them can telescope. You'll have to check into that, but you can control your main display right there or your touch display, all with the steering wheel. Push button start, foot on the brake. So we don't have a smart key in here. It's just your regular old key fob, which is just fine. The shifter is right over there and frees up a whole lot of space out here. And this actually has paddle shifters. I was kind of surprised to see that, but maybe you could use this for engine braking, potentially. You have a small display right there, but you still get a couple of physical gauges on here. It's more of a message or a warning system up there, like if I turn certain things on, like the lane keeping system for the top screen. Otherwise, you can use your steering wheel controls to go through kind of just your basic information on there. And then you can move around and see even some more stuff. So even though it is small and looks kind of outdated, it still gives you plenty of information. Now the dash is really cool. So check this out. You've actually got like little cup holders right here, storage areas right there. You've got different plugs. You can get 12-volt power outlet. You can get USB-C ports in there. I've got a charging cord right there. You can get a wireless charging mat here, and the same thing over there with a couple extra storage cubbies. You can get a smaller screen or a larger screen. This is the smaller screen, but you can get a 10.25-inch screen like other Mercedes models. You can touch the screen, or you can actually use your steering wheel right here to change things on there as well. This is just like other MBUX systems from Mercedes, a bunch of stuff that you can do and customize on here. I've gone through this several times, but it works just fine, and honestly is more than I was expecting in a vehicle like this. Still have a few physical controls like a volume knob. We've got a camera, which I'll show you, different settings, adjustments on here too. But let's go into reverse. Check this out. We've got this parking package, which gives us a surround view camera, and you can change the views on here. You can see right next to the vehicle, just straight out in front, depending on what you want. It's pretty awesome. The only thing I wish, it's nice to have that in a big van like that, but the rearview mirror, you can't see anything because you've got this divider right here in your big cargo area. I wish that we had a mirror camera. I'm not sure if that's an option, but you could certainly retrofit it or get one that you can install. Then you can see really good behind you, but let me show you the mirrors. So the mirrors work pretty well too. You've got the bottom mirror, kind of a spotter mirror, and then your main mirror here. So I can see really well. I can see my blind spot, lanes right next to me, not really a problem. There's a couple little slots right here that your phone could sit in. The AC vents work pretty well. You've got climate controls down here. It's just a single zone climate on this particular model. Regular old temperature and fan speed controls. Then a couple of massive bottle holders and a couple small bottle holders down there. And then look at this floor. It's just wide open. I mean, it is just perfect area to store stuff. Add things, customize things. You can get a 3-seater in here or just the 2-seater like this. And check this out. With the seats, we've got these ratcheting armrests, so you can have them sit wherever you want, or you can move them down, whatever's comfortable for you. I wish that they were a little bit wider. They're pretty skinny, not very long. My arm kind of falls off, but you could certainly get used to that. Right up under the dash, you get another USB-C and a 12-volt power outlet. The glove box is just open like that, but more storage space there. And it's actually kind of handy to have this open area because you can stand up with these tall roofs. I'm 5'9" and I can feel my hat touching that, so keep that in mind. But let me show you. Right up here, there's actually a little bit of storage up here. It's really hard to see because it's super dark, but there's storage above each visor, and you have massive visors. Overhead, you still get the same old controls just like you do in any other Mercedes. Typical reading lamp. You can adjust the lights to turn off or not, and a sunglass holder. Not bad at all. All right, y'all, we are behind the wheel of this Sprinter van, and there's not a ton to talk about in terms of the driving dynamics, but if you're not used to driving a big vehicle like this, which I don't ever really drive a big vehicle like this, it's still easy to drive around and maneuver, and visibility is actually pretty good. I mean, you got a nice, tall, commanding ride. You got huge windows here. You can see your mirrors well, where you can see your tires on both sides, so you can see whether or not you're navigating a corner or a curb, and you can still see your blind spots and the lanes next to you pretty well. So I mean, it doesn't take long to get comfortable in this vehicle. This has the diesel engine, so this is going to have good torque, and it does have good torque. It doesn't take much to get going. It's pretty punchy and peppy. It doesn't have a lot of horsepower, but the torque, the quick acceleration is there. It's pretty effortless, and obviously I don't have anything weighing this down, but that's what it's made for, is to carry stuff around and still have good ability. So what does it feel like to drive? Well, it feels like you're driving a big old cargo van. The ride comfort is actually pretty good. I mean, it feels fairly soft up here. You can feel and hear some rattles and vibrations in the way back, but the wheelbase is so far apart that I think it balances out bumps pretty well. These seats also have a lot of adjustability, so you've got good comfort availability with that, and they're even heated, so that's pretty nice. Now obviously you need to be aware of your dimensions in this, and you can get a smaller version or a more extended version. And driving this around town or around neighborhoods has not been a burden at all. I haven't really parked it in like parking lots with a bunch of other cars or tight spaces, because it's not really what this is for. But I mean, just partial pedal acceleration here gets us up to speed pretty quick. And another thing is the brakes on this are really good, and they're designed obviously to be able to brake well when you have a lot of cargo. But when you don't have any cargo, the braking is fantastic, and it doesn't actually feel super wishy-wallowy going around corners. It does just fine. I'm totally impressed and satisfied driving this around compared to just relative to how big it actually is. It's not bad at all. Passing power is okay, but let's go ahead and pedal down. Got this diesel, so this diesel is nice and torquey, and living in here, controls, you'll feel like right at home. It's just like driving a lot of other vehicles, because you've got your screen there, got all the same kind of similar controls, touch screen there, you can control your phone on there, all of that good stuff. So kind of a short summary of driving this. Road noise, I did take decibel ratings, but take it with a grain of salt, because that's not what this is all about. Just for your own reference on noise, you hear the powertrain and you can hear some bumps and stuff, but it's not that bad. So to wrap things up on this Mercedes Sprinter van, would you live in it? Would you buy it for work? Would you buy it for your family? There's so many different applications for this van, and this is the 2500 cargo van. Lots of space back there, but still a decent interior setup, something comfortable to drive around and to live with potentially. Let me know how you would use it and whether or not you would buy one of these big vans. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. A thumbs up would be super helpful, and have a great day.